Hi everyone, welcome back to the Power of the 72 Name class. And as we continue, the 72 name combination correspond with this month of Aries, month of Nisan. We are going to speak today about the two combination, Samech Yutet, which known to be creating miracles, and one of the combination that a lot of people love to connect to, and Ayin Lamed Mem, which is removing negative thoughts. Ayin Lamed Mem, it's interesting that, and we're going to speak about it in length, is really corresponding with the whole week almost of Passover that is going to come. It's interesting why this name has been chosen for this time. But as I mentioned last week, that the whole 6 combinations that correspond with this month are able and allowing us and supporting us to really cleanse the level of Keter, the level of the thoughts, the negative thoughts that are not really there to help us or assisting us in any way of moving forward in our life, rather get us to feel stuck. So each name helps us in that level of the thoughts. And interesting, when we look at the combination of Samech Yutet, known to be creating miracle, and between Samech Yutet and Ayin Lamed Mem is also correspond with the story of Passover, the story and the miracle, or the greatest miracle that known to be in history, is the departing of the sea. That we know that from that the whole knowledge of the 72 name came about. Just a little bit of a reminder of the story that the Israelites left Egypt after 210 years of slavery, walking in the desert led by Moses. Moses is bringing them to the Dead Sea, and they're feeling like so choked and like with no solution of how they're going to save themselves, because they in front of them is the sea, behind them are the soldiers of the king Pharaoh were running and chasing them to kill them, and they're stuck in between. They have no idea what to do. They're screaming to the Creator. Creator is telling them, Matitzak Elai, what are you asking? What are you shouting? You have all the knowledge, you have the tools. Create your miracle, break through. So the reason we connect to Samech Yutet, or as I see many people connecting to Samech Yutet with really the desire of creating a certain miracle in their life. But the Kabbalists have been saying throughout generation, and Rabbi Karenberg kept mentioning that when we maintain level of consciousness, of pure thoughts, we will be able to see miracles in our life in every given moment. And basically this is where we want to reach, to that place where we had seen the miracle, and that it's normal in our life. That it's not like, oh, because I just had a great day, or it happened to be that such luck that I found parking, such luck that this happened in my life, I got a raise, or I got cured, right? We want to see this in our life constantly, and in order to see miracles, which for me, when I look at the definition of miracle, I always bring it into understanding of illogical reality. We always want an outcome that it will say, oh my God, it's illogical that it happened, in a good way. Miracle in Hebrew is nes. And again, it's part of the taken from this month name in Hebrew, Nisan, which is Nes. How can we attract miracles into our life? How we can awaken the level of miracles in our life? It starts with purifying our thoughts. As the Kabbalists have been mentioning all this time, it's really all about the level of consciousness that we have. Last week I've mentioned the verse 71 from the portion of Vaikra, recommended you to read this. And I feel that that I need to read it for you today, because it's really, there are many secrets in that I feel it's really important to mention. So by what time I'm going to open it, I want to talk about for a second about Moses, because I've mentioned Moses. Moses was the one leader, or one of the really few leaders, that happened to hear the Creator and understand everything that we are studying, and of course even more. What had the Creator intended for all of us? And he was the one that heard every message, understood the messages, understood how things work in. And the question is like, why? Why only Moses was able to hear the messages and understand the lessons, and the Israelites at this time didn't? One of the things that we learn about Moses in relationship to the whole story of the parting of the sea and coming out of the slavery, he had like such a power of humbleness and humility that he was connected to, that he completely removed the word ani, which is I, from his vocabulary, from his consciousness. He knew the secret of being humble, that if we were able to kind of lower ourselves in a sense of like being humble, we can hear anything and we can create miracles in our life. And what does it really mean to lower ourselves, or to lower the I? We heard a lot about lowering or removing or working on lowering our ego. But we really want to understand it practically in the lesson. Obviously, it's the power of the consciousness, right? It's like, when do we know that we have the right consciousness? How we can control our intentions that we've mentioned last week in our life. When our intentions are real and when they are not. When the intentions that we have planting the seeds to draw blessings, and where our intentions are there planting seed to draw chaos in our life. And in this verse, in verse 71, in portion of Awaken, I'll tell you which page is that if you wish to open it, is page 44. And in this verse it says that machshava de barnash hi resha de kola, which means the thought of a human being is the beginning of everything. According to our thoughts, it's awakening certain energies that creating the reality that we live in. Our thoughts coming from, as we also mentioned last week, as coming from the evil inclination, only there to harm us. The Rav spoke about the power of the thought that is the beginning of everything. And what are the intentions that we have? We need to remember that, and it's continuation of last week's work. The thought is the seed level of all. This is how it's mentioned here in the Zohar. ומאי מחשבה התפשטו אחינו ושבילין לעשתה לאורחי בהי עלמא ובעלמא דעתי ומאי מחשבה התנגד ונפיק זוהמה דעצר רע להבשה ליהו ולחולה. And want to understand even further what really it meant for us. It says about a certain Kabbalist that he knew that about what is the power of the thought. And he understood for himself that he has a little bit of an issue with that, because he had some thoughts that were negative thoughts. And he had no control over it. And he really wanted to go deep inside and to cleanse those thoughts, but he knew he needed help. And he went to his teacher. And he asked his teacher, if you can help me to cleanse those negative thoughts that I have within me. So his teacher invited him to come over to study together in one night. That student is walking towards the house of his teacher, so happy and with like enthusiasm and excitement that amazing, I'm going to my teacher now, and it's going to help me to change my thoughts, my negative thoughts. He's knocking on the door. There's no answer. Is knocking again. No answer. He says, I remember the teacher invited me tonight to come to his house to do this work with him. Is knocking again. No answer. 2 hours pass by. He's standing by the door. No one is opening the door. And the teacher is looking at him from the window above. He's looking and seeing him. And say even hello, but he's not opening the door. He's knocking again. The teacher is not opening the door for him. The night goes by and he's fallen asleep by the door. In the morning, the teacher is opening the door. And he said, oh, welcome, you here? Welcome, come in. Kind of like the student was a bit surprised, but the teacher is telling him, I know why you came. You want me to help you to cleanse your thoughts. But one fundamental thing that you need to learn and to really understand, that for me, I had a choice whether to open you, to let open the door for you and to let you into my house or not. You also have a choice. And the choice that you have is like, are you going to open the door for this thought or this thought? Which means you have a opportunity to choose and a free will to choose which thought you letting in your mind or not. And this is also for us, that we are so consumed with so many thoughts of the day-to-day, of life, of worry, of so many things, right? But if we'll catch ourselves early enough, in the time that I'm able to stop and choose what type of thought I'm willing to let in and what type of thought I'm not letting even into my system. When we have a negative thought, it doesn't mean that I'm injecting negativity in my life. It's just the beginning of the process. If the thought in my mind, it's there and I'm allowing it to be there and dwell within me and not rejecting it, it's depend on us, on me. Negative thoughts do not create negativity. We know that some negative thoughts, as we already mentioned, come from the soul and some coming from Satan. We want to push the thought that's coming out from Satan, because after it's already penetrating, we're allowing the thought to really enter more of our mind and like really dwell in and connect with the emotion. Now the emotions are like all tie in with the thought. It's very difficult to release any thought. When we read here the Zohar, this section, we understand that it's speaking on times that when we are not really present in our life and we're really feeling down and we don't understand why we are down. Because when we're starting to compare ourselves to other people, what he has and what I don't have, for example, 20 minutes later we're completely down. We started to become jealous and the thoughts are becoming heavy in our life. So you said to yourself, I don't love myself. Or if we're in a relationship and in the relationship this particular partner left and decided that he's no longer want to be in this relationship, automatically the thoughts and emotions start to build up and create within ourselves another thought of like, self-love doesn't exist because that person doesn't love me, so who am I to love myself? When we start to compare, when we start to see this thing in a way, it's kind of like we need to remember before we let in those thoughts coming in of this comparison and why this person left me or why this thing happened to me. This is the time when we have a free will choice to stop it and to not let it in. Because in this verse, as you can see, it says that המחשבות שלי הן לא מחשבותיך, like my thought, it's not the thoughts of the Creator. The main power that the Satan has, this evil inclination, the opponent, this force has, is that he has the power to express itself within our mind, within our thoughts. And how it's presented in our life, when we say, for example, this idea is mine, this conclusion is mine, this thought is mine. When we're using my idea, my thought, my understanding, my mind, even if there are positive thoughts, it's still coming from Satan, it's still coming from this evil inclination. We're allowing it to come in. Maybe the thought does come from the light, but the feeling that it's come with it, that when we feel it's from me, is completely pure Satan, and this is creating the difference. So our purpose is to really come from our heart with our thoughts, that our thoughts will not interfere within my mind, and that we will able to transfer it straight to our heart and to draw the blessings that will come from that. Our mind, when our mind will block the thoughts to come from our heart, which means we will automatically think that everything that I did, everything that exists, comes from me, that we are not pure channel of the light. The light says, if you think that your thought coming from you, good for you. You may feel good at the beginning, but later on, we'll feel depleted of energy. We'll feel down. And with the understanding of this week, is like we get an additional power of cleansing. Before Passover, it's known to be that we are cleansing of our house, cleaning anything that is connected to a form of chametz. And what is chametz? Is this energy that is of those thoughts. We want to clean not just from in a physical aspect. Most people known to be like in the spring, there's a spring cleaning, right? But we don't want just to clean the energy from the house, and which is always good. We have the support also and the reminder with the 72 names of this month and this week, Ayin Lamed Mem and Samich Yutet. Yeah, you want to see miracles in your life? Amazing, no problem. It's all possible. But let's start to clean the vessel from the thoughts that are not serving us, that are not coming from a pure intention of being the channel of the light. Rather, it's thoughts that are coming completely from the Satan. And again, how do we know that? We can see the energy, we can see the reactiveness that we have. When we see we are not happy. In continuation to verse 71, there's verse 73 that speaks about those sacrifices that we mentioned last week. And it's continued, it's like the cleansing of the thought. It's like as we bring in a sacrifice in the altar, in the tabernacle. It's like we're taking the thought, the negative thoughts, and we connecting ourselves through the heart, not through the mind. We're releasing, we're cleansing this thought. So when we're speaking about Ayin Lamed Mem, I want to show you a sentence, a combination of letters creating a certain sentence that you can use this week and in general to support you, together with a combination of Ayin Lamed Mem. You see, Ayin Lamed Mem also, there's a prayer or sequences of letters combined into sentences in the morning connection that we use, and you can use that. It says Esh Tamid Tukad Al HaMizbeach, which means you can use these combinations of letters, this sentence, Esh Tamid Tukad Al HaMizbeach Lo Tichbe. This is the energy of Ayin Lamed Mem through this sentence and through the 72 names to remove the negative thoughts that we have from controlling us, and put us in a place where we're suspicious, when we don't trust, when we thinking bad about ourselves, to eliminate this. And it's interesting enough that the continuation of the sentence in the prayer, it says that as we releasing those negative thoughts, it says, Lev ta'or bara li Elokim, veruach nachon chidesh bekirbi. As we removing those thoughts, as we are eliminating those negative thoughts from controlling us, we are allowing for a new pure heart to be not just awakened, to that we will be able to see this heart, this pure heart that the Creator already created within us. And there's a new spirit, and Ruach Hadash, and a new spirit renewed within me. We all remember when we overcome a certain thought or belief system, or think that we thought for many years about someone or about myself, when we really go through a process of that cleansing, we feel renewed. We feel that there is something new within me. We don't have to wait many years. We have this month, we have this week, we have the 72 names that allow us to have this level of renewed feeling and renewed existence within us. So it's supporting us to get with Ayin Lamed Mem, understanding that together with that using of this sentence of Esh Tamid Tugad al HaMizbeach Lo Tichbe, you can given a screenshot for that you can recite it or scan this sequence of letters. Together with Ayin Lamed Mem, and understanding that with that we can create Samech Yutet, miracles in our life, or awaken the vision of miracles in our life, because they always exist, but we are unable to see the success or the blessings or this illogical reality in our life, because we are so consumed, first of all, with our thoughts. He doesn't like me, she thinks about me like this, that's why I'm not attracted, like that I was not called to be part of this project, because maybe I'm not good enough, and so forth and so forth. Our thoughts in our mind can put us down so much and separating us rather than get us closer with people, closer with myself, and closer with the Creator. It's so amazing that we have it in this month that allows the level of mental healing. And it's interesting, when you look at the chart of the 72 name, you see Samech Yutet, and right next to it Ayin Lamed Mem, right? Ayin Lamed Mem also in Hebrew, when we look at the letters, we can read this as Olam. Olam is world. When we purify ourselves from the thoughts, we're able to really bring impact to our own world, to our environment, and we can really awaken more light in the world itself. So it's not by coincidence that Samech Yutet, of creating those miracles in our life and in others, or even awaken and making all effort to see those miracles by removing, cleansing, purifying the thoughts. As it says here in the Zohar, the thoughts is the beginning of all. Everything, the seed level of everything. When we purify it, when we connect to only positive thoughts, we're able to impact, again, not just our world, but the whole world, just by that. Because the thought lead to emotion, lead to manifestation in the form of actions. So if the thought is negative, what's the outcome of it? Negativity, action of negativity. If we use a word, if we shout, if we scream, if we angry, if we're being reactive, it's vibrate negative energy. So this week we can awaken for ourselves for this week and next week also of Passover, which Samech Yutet and Ein Lamed Mem are corresponding to this time that we are in, allowing us to really purify ourselves from negative thought, to be more present in a daily day action, together with last week's class about understanding our intention. It's really bringing us to be focused on the intention, focus on our thought, and bringing us in a form of manifestation. And it's literally our the level of activity or life that we want to live by. Great idea comes in mind because we have great intentions. The outcome are beautiful reality. What a miracle, right? That's basically what we want to exercise. And it's not just by coincidence that this is in this first week of the year, because it's representing of the way we acting right now is like representing how our year is going to be. So we want to purify our thoughts, we want to be present to them, and we have the support of the 72 name. Samech Yutet, Ein Lamed Mem. Thank you for joining me. Again, I would love to hear more from you. Thank you for all of those who send in your request and to get more clarify or question, and also your beautiful words and comments about this class. Would love to hear more from you. Thank you for joining me. Samech Yutet, Ein Lamed Mem. See you next time.